So we recently aired a story about new home contracts and how buyers here in North Texas are seeing dramatic increases in prices even after they've signed a contract, and how in some cases they're having those contracts canceled on them by the builder. We know a lot of you are in the housing market right now and have additional questions, which is why exclusively here on CBSN, we have an extended interview with real estate attorney Rachel Khirallah. We start off by asking her about these no-cause termination clauses.
They can be called seller termination clause, they can be called cancellation clauses, they can be called convenience clauses. They take on various names, but the most important thing to look for is just that language that says a seller can terminate this contract for any cause, for any reason.
For any reason?
Any reason, or without reason, not even for a reason.
So what are these new?
They are not new. They have been in builder contracts for, gosh, forever, as long as I can remember. They're just now, because we're in the housing market that we are in, they're just now becoming more significant because builders are actually exercising those clauses more than they ever have before in the past.
And why?
Because the housing materials have increased. That's part of the reason, but more importantly, the cost, the money that a builder can receive for the sale of the home has increased so significantly that they're realizing that they're getting better deals out there.
Could this mean that what the price that you started out with could be dramatically different than the end price?
Absolutely. We're seeing here today now just the cost of housing materials have increased so exponentially that a house that a builder once quoted at a certain amount of money will have increased significantly. So you can definitely see that change in the cost of a home.
So what can buyers do? Because that's a little scary if you're going into a home and you're thinking it's $500,000 and then it ends up $700,000. I mean, I don't know if people are necessarily prepared for that kind of swing.
The best advice I can give to buyers is to read your contract and understand the terms. The terms can be complicated and they can be confusing, and those contracts are very dense. So if you need, find a lawyer, a construction lawyer who can take a look at it, because you probably don't have the right to negotiate much, but at least be prepared. At least understand what exactly is in your contract so that you can understand what could happen down the line. It's tough, and builders have to protect themselves too. We are in unprecedented times right now due to COVID and due to the housing market increase that we are all seeing right now. And so it's not all against the builder. It is more so all sides need to protect themselves, and a builder is in the business of making money. They're not in the business of not making money. And us consumers and homeowners are in the business of wanting to buy a home for our families. And so I think the most important piece of advice is not to necessarily shy away from these contracts, just understand and make sure that you're okay with what you're getting yourself into.
Are there any protections for buyers that they need to make sure are in contracts?
Protection in buyers, in builder contracts, very little, very little. The best advice that I can offer you is, especially if you're entering into a custom home build, have a construction lawyer review your contract. That's the most important piece of advice.
Do these types of things happen in tract homes?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Same thing. The difference is all the contracts, well, the contracts are the same pretty much, even with the custom build for the most part, but they absolutely happen in tract homes too. And in fact, the tract home builders are even less favorable. Those contracts are even less favorable to the homeowner, yes.
So they can back out as
absolutely.
Well.
Yes, they have those termination clauses for no cause or any cause or any reason as well.
A hot housing market is not new for North Texas, but this one is definitely different. So if you have questions or concerns, reach out to us at iteam@ktvt.com. With the I-Team, Brian New, CBSN, Dallas-Fort Worth.